Hello, welcome to day 4. Who's here today? I saw someone say, I'm on time. I actually made it up. Let me do my roll call. Like, who do we have here? Good to see you all in the comments. We love the comments, by the way. It's a lot of fun to keep up with everybody, watching the comments, and it helps us know what we need to talk about or if there's something we missed. So I just love it. And I am excited because today we're kind of diving into, well, we're not kind of, we are diving into some backing options, actually, our first backing option. So if you know what's going on today, you've been here during Academy Week so far, put a number 5 in the comments. We'd love to say hello to you and thank you for joining us all week. It's already almost the end of September. Do you guys see the date? September 25th. What is going on? This year is flying. There we go. There's some number 5s. Okay, and if you are new and you're like, wait a minute, I don't know what's going on this week. This is my first time live this week. I haven't caught the other ones, something like that. Put a number 1. Look at all these number 5s. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you coming and hanging out and learning with us. So if you are new and you're about to put number 1 in the comments, welcome to HoopSisters Academy Week. Hi, Janet. Welcome to Academy Week. And Kathy. Okay, cool. So we do have some new people popping on today, and we're excited you're here. So basically, we usually do like 2-day workshops. We release a new design, and we do focus on education. We talk a lot about how to stitch things, how to use our trimmer and all that stuff. This week, we're live all week. It's 5 full days. I've convinced Sarah and Annie, who are in camera with me, to teach all week long. And they're loving it too. So if you are just now tuning in, no worries at all. You're going to learn a lot today, I promise you. But what we've been doing so far, each day's kind of been building on the last. We revealed this brand new design, and it is gorgeous. It's called Feather. Oh gosh, it is not Feathered Star. Feathered Star is a different design from a long time ago. This is Woven Star. It's really beautiful. It's like stars that are woven together, as you can kind of see in that design. And the quilting is magnificent and always included when you do a Hoop Sisters project. So whether or not you decide to jump in with this project and order it, you are welcome to be here and learn all week long. And we hope that you are learning a whole bunch. In fact, I always like to know, so far over the course of the 3 days we've been live, what has been your biggest takeaway, something you've learned, or maybe just your favorite part about this event so far. We'd love to hear that in the comments too. Okay. We have also been doing a live viewer giveaway every single day this week. We're giving away $50 in Hoop Sisters store credit every day for a total of $250 given away by the end of the week. So it pays to join live and be here live and all that good stuff. So participate with us now by typing the word 1, the number 1 in the comments. Now, I picked this word because I wanted to pick a different word. And we're learning all about a one-piece backing today. So that's why I picked 1, if you're wondering. And we will do that throughout the live. You only have to do it 1 time to be entered to win. So if you see it pop up and you've already done it, don't worry about it. Somebody said they're anxious to see something. And then the comment went, zoom, and I missed it. Yeah, okay. All right, so here we are on day 4 of this beautiful week. Feels like more fall here in Ohio. Actually, we've said it's kind of humid and our hair isn't cooperating, but it's not 80 or 90 degrees, right, girls? Okay, so today what we are going to do, we've stitched out blocks. We've showed you how to trim with our trimmer by George 3.0. We've shared our anchor pinning technique, which is fantastic for joining. And today we are talking about the one-piece backing. And I'll let the girls dive more into that. The other thing we want you to know is we don't ever want you to feel like you're on an island. You're going to learn a lot and have a lot of information thrown at you on our lives. But just know if you don't get your question answered while we're on the live, you can always reach out to Nina. Her phone number and email is right there on the screen. So after the live, if you still have a question or you have something personal that you're experiencing, like your cart doesn't look how you thought it should or something like that, just reach out. We are glad to help you. And it's always easier to help you with that stuff if you let us know you got something going on. Okay. So I'm going to do this super quick because some of you have been here all week, all these number 5s. I love it. So if you are jumping in for the first time, or you're like, what was the size again? Let me talk about that super quick. By the way, that picture shows off the quilting very, very nicely. And it's a nice beginner friendly design for $45. It does have the 2 backing options, and it also comes to you with 5-inch and 8-inch block sizes. So if you want to order this, we will drop the order link, or you can just stay and hang out and learn all week. But if you want to try this out, now is the best time to order. And we will talk about some limited time promotions again at the end. Okay. Also, have you girls seen a couple people now have posted a star section? So they obviously got the download in their account and have already started. And it's been really cool to see all that in our VIP Facebook group. So keep that coming, okay? What am I looking at? I'm sewing a woven star table runner in Halloween fabrics while watching today. That's awesome. I can't wait to see how that turns out. I bet it's going to be beautiful. And what perfect fabric. I love that. I love that you can do any kind of fabric. We do have a fabric kit, but you can also go crazy and do your own. All right, I'm going to turn it over to you girls.
Okay, where do you want to go? You guide us.
Okay, I think probably, first of all, good afternoon. I'm Annie Moody. I'm one of the co-founders of HoopSisters, along with my sister, Linda Remmers. And this here beside me is my daughter,
Hello.
Sarah Congdon. And she also is a designer and digitizer here at HoopSisters. And this is the quilt behind us. And it's absolutely gorgeous. And I like, Sarah, how someone yesterday mentioned about doing a whole cloth quilt. Could they do a whole cloth quilt? And the quilting on this quilt is perfect for something like that.
It is.
It's just making that quilt sandwich and just following the directions that you do for the corner.
And I think these already stitch pretty fast, just because it's the piece that's piecing with the stitch and flip, no applique, no satin stitching. So a whole cloth would even go faster.
Even faster. Absolutely.
So cool.
So yeah, I wish I could remember who said that, but make sure that if you do that you do post it in our VIP group. So today, like Aubrey had said, we are going to be doing the one-piece backing. So we're going to take you right over to the cutting table, and we are going to have my little quilt section all laid out. So you can see the quilt section here. These are the 8-inch blocks. And I wanted to also show you, this is a printout of the instructions that come with the design when you get it. And if you turn right to the very last page, these are the instructions that are going to follow exactly, hopefully, maybe with little tips and hints and stuff along the way of what we're going to do today. So if you need to find those instructions, that's where they are. And there's even a diagram there. So that would be the place to look. So let me just walk you through it. What you're going to do is you're going to layer your quilt. You're going to have this is one that does not have the backing in the hoop, so it's a one-piece backing. You're going to lay your backing fabric so that the right side is to your cutting table and the wrong side is up. And then you're going to take your quilt and you're going to center it right over the top of that. And I always like to do a little tug. You can tape it down with maybe some blue painter's tape or something, or masking tape if you want to. A project this small, I really don't think it's going to be necessary because it's just a nice, tidy, petite little project, and I just don't even do it. So then I like to take my safety pins or my quilting pins, and I like to put a pin right smack dab in the center of each of those blocks. And the reason I put them in the center is I do not want to put them near the seams. Oh, this pin's going to give me a hard time.
It always happens when you're doing it live.
I know.
People are watching.
Exactly. Look at that. It's really going to give me a hard time. Okay. So I like to put them in the center because I'm going to be stitching in the ditch, and I will be using a little serpentine stitch. Now you have the choice of using either a serpentine stitch, which is just a curvy stitch that meanders back and forth, or you can use a straight stitch and you're just going to be stitching in the ditch. For a quilt that you're making, if it has wool in it, I like to use the serpentine stitch. And the reason I prefer the serpentine stitch if you have wool is because sometimes these blocks, the wool will make it kind of like, how do you want to describe it, Sarah? Like mound up a little bit and it won't lay perfectly flat.
Yeah, it just lays flatter if you use that versus a straight stitch in the ditch.
Yeah, and that serpentine stitch just makes it lay flat. So try it both ways and see which way you like best. It doesn't hurt to try a straight stitch first. And if you want it to lay a little flatter, then go ahead and do the serpentine stitch right over the top of it.
I always say I don't like having to stitch a straight line, so give me a serpentine stitch. I think it's a little more forgiving.
This is a little baby pin.
You don't have to be so worried about being right in the ditch when you're doing it.
Yep, you're exactly right.
And if you do it with the monopoly invisible thread, it just blends right in. I mean, it's on the quilt behind us. Maybe we can take that down and kind of show you guys a close-up. We can point out where the serpentine stitch is. But until we point it out, you're really not going to see it.
Yeah. Yep. It's just, it blends right in with the quilting on the front. And because you're using that invisible thread and the needle and the bobbin, it just blends in with everything. You are also going to, on your machine, you're going to use a walking foot. If you have a dual walking foot on your machine, that will work with the serpentine stitch. By all means, use that. But definitely use a walking foot on this. Okay, so I have my last pin in there. I probably could have done some of these in advance. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I probably should take that. I'm going to go over to the machine and I'll bring it back later and I'll show you what I've done. But just to tell you in advance, with the monopoly clear thread, serpentine stitch, and I will stitch all the way to the end. And then I'll do it here, and I will also do it on these sides as well. So I will be right back and I'll let Aubrey and Sarah entertain you.
And I think while you do that, I'm going to pull this quilt off the wall. I'll put it under the camera and I'll kind of point out where the serpentine stitch is.
Okay.
Oh, cool. She's got more pins in it than I thought. Give me one moment.
I do have.
I'll let them watch you struggle.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Go for it.
What are sisters for?
Oh, it's like, oh my goodness.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, you did let them watch me struggle, didn't you? I thought she was kidding. You know, I'll get you back for that, Aubrey.
Better than staring at funny things.
That's true. Watching me struggle is better.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. So we're talking about the serpentine stitch. You can see some of your blocks here. Now, this is where your serpentine stitch is. You can see it on camera on both sides because this one actually has sashing on it. So you're going to see it on both sides of your seam. Whereas what Annie's doing, it's going to lay right on the seam. And it's actually probably going to blend in even more than these. But even in person, guys, we have had so many people, we are explaining the process to them, telling them how to do this, telling them it's blocks. They don't see that serpentine stitch even in person until we point it out. Because with that monopoly invisible thread, it just blends right into that beautiful quilting right here. So that is what I wanted to show you. And again, this one's sashed. So you've got a serpentine stitch on either side of your seam versus with the one piece backing that Annie's doing right now. She's just doing kind of well, we call it a stitch in the ditch right over top. It's going to meander back and forth. And just to reiterate, like we said, it helps it lay a little bit flatter than a straight stitch in the ditch. And it's just more forgiving when you're stitching it. How many more seams you got over there?
I have 2 more. I'm only halfway done.
Okay.
I'm going as fast as the
She's got 2 more seams that she's going to do over there. Yeah. I think while we're waiting on her, so that you guys, because if I put this quilt back up, then you're going to have to watch me struggle to put it up. I no longer trust my sister. Okay.
You didn't trust her before this.
So we're moving on to this. I like doing that with this.
Yeah.
It literally goes thud.
Yeah.
In person. I don't know if that comes through on the microphone at all, but so much fabric in this kit. It is loaded with beautiful, beautiful fabrics. 6.5 yards in this kit, which is awesome. And it's poppy cotton fabrics. And then your solid white is a Michael Miller. But poppy cotton fabrics are just, they feel so nice. The weight of them is so nice. They're such high quality fabrics and really fun colors that Annie used in this fabric kit. So this one is called Bell Pepper Orange. I think it's a little more red than it is orange, but really, really pretty. Love this color. And then you kind of got this golden yellow in here. And then your gray, it's kind of a dark gray. And these are from their Country Confetti line of fabrics. So it's their basics line. But we love these because they still have these little colorful dots in there. And DC obviously has used poppy cotton fabrics before. She says she loves them. They're awesome. And then the last poppy cotton fabric is this one right here. It's called Sandy Beach Yellow. And this one has a little bit of a larger dot. And it still reads as kind of a solid, and it's nice because it's pulling in all of these other colors into your fabric kit. So like I said, just really beautiful colors in this fabric kit and a whole lot of fabric. All right. Should I get out of your way?
Yes.
Okay. See,
Please.
they're beating up on me today. Get out of the way. Let them watch you struggle.
That's right. Hey, that's a friends and family report.
I'm never this snarky with them.
Right. Okay, so here we have it. What I've done, again, I'll just kind of reiterate. I do see that I have a little bit of a like pucker in here. So maybe by taping it down, it would have gotten rid of some of that. But I basically just did that serpentine stitch. We call it stitch in the ditch, but since it's so squiggly, it's almost like stitch over the ditch instead of in the ditch.
That's right.
So you can see the backing looks like that. I'm going to show you, and I did that because this has wool in it. And I do see that it just feels like it's laying flatter, which definitely helps. This little sample here does not have the wool in it. And this one, we just did a straight stitch in the ditch. And again, we use monopoly invisible thread, doing it both ways so that it just disappears. And on the front, I believe that's probably what Sarah was showing you, but you cannot even hardly find it. You really,
it blends in even more on this one. Like I when I was showing them, so the sample I showed them has sashing on the back. This is a one-piece backing. So the sashing kind of has double the serpentine stitch in it.
Right.
But it blends in even more on here.
Yeah, the serpentine stitch on the one that we'll do tomorrow is, like she said, is going to have the sashing. So it has like 2 rows of sashing on either side of the seam. Well, when it's right over the seam, it really blends in very nicely. So after you do your serpentine stitch in the ditch, then what you would do, and I haven't done it, but I don't need to do it here on the live, is that you will change your stitch to a straight stitch, kind of an elongated straight stitch, and you can just kind of stitch right inside the edge here. You can stitch right on the basting stitch or between the basting stitch and the edge of the fabric just to hold these layers together. And then at that point, then what you can do is you can trim your backing fabric right up even to the rest of your quilt and put your binding on and your sleeve if you want to. So there you have it. That's pretty easy, isn't it?
It's pretty easy.
It's pretty easy. I feel bad that I'm pretty much done with my demonstration.
Oh, we have a couple questions we can answer, though.
All right. Let's see if I can actually answer them.
Pretty easy. Okay, let me find. I see a lot of nice comments from you all. Thank you. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to go in order of when these questions were asked. So this one doesn't have as much to do with backing, but she has a question about the Trimmer by George. Christine on YouTube asked, what is the difference between the original Trimmer by George and the new version 3?
Well, hold on here. I maybe can show her.
Just going to glare with the lights.
Okay. This even has my name on it.
Well, it must be yours.
Yes. This is the original Trimmer by George. I can't believe we just happened to have it in here. So it is basically just a hunk of gutter material with a crimped edge. And it has the same purpose. You can use that crimped edge to protect the fabric on the front and then use this edge to cut against. So it has the same purpose. But what has happened is over the years, I'm going to actually bring this. This is our second version of the trimmer by George. And then our second version of the trimmer by George, it still has a crimped edge. The difference we found here is that the metal just wasn't as sturdy as it needed to be. And that's why we went to our third trimmer by George. And this definitely has a much sturdier metal edge. Same purpose. You still have your acrylic ruler, so you can kind of see the progression here of our trimmer by George. It's a little bigger. But yeah, that's our trimmer by George.
Got a little bit of an upgrade between those versions, didn't it?
Absolutely.
Okay. Linda asked, what is the largest project you would do with a one-piece backing?
Oh, well,
there's caveats to this, right?
There is caveats to this. I mean, I remember before we did Hoop Sisters and I just did traditional quilting, we would layer really large quilts. I just have to find a clean, large enough floor space, and I would tape my backing fabric all the way around, make sure it's nice and taut, and then do the pinning and stuff like that, and then take it to the machine to sew. So you could technically, I think it depends on your physical ability of how much you want to drag to the machine. I'm going to make another suggestion too, and it might open up a whole bunch more questions than answers, is that this section of the star quilt, you could do it section by section.
Mm-hmm.
So like the quilt that Sarah's putting back up behind us.
Let's tell Aubrey.
Yeah, she'll show everybody. But you could do the quilt behind us has 9 different star sections. You could do the 9 star sections like this, and you could trim the edge, since it won't have binding, the edges that will be sewn to another section back to remove the bulk from the seams. And then you could join each section together after you've done the one-piece backing. And then you'd put your sashing only in between each star section. So that's another way you could do it as well. So many ways that you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm afraid that may have raised more questions than answers.
Well, but the questions that it could raise, we'll address tomorrow.
Right.
We'll teach them how to do it tomorrow. So you can kind of do a combination of the one-piece backing method and the sashing method. Okay. Joyce wants to know, I'm still learning, what is a whole cloth quilt?
Okay. So Joyce, you see this block right here, all these corner blocks. It's just the fabric and the batting. And of course we put our backing on here, but a whole cloth quilt is all just one color fabric. And I think traditionally it's usually like a white or a cream, but it can be any color fabric or any color thread. The thread could be contrasting if you wanted to, but it's something that does not have the seams and the piecing in it. So this would all be the same one piece of fabric as well, but you would still stitch all the quilting and stuff on there. So you'd skip your seams and your tack downs, and you would just sew the quilting portions of it that come towards the end. So hopefully, Joyce, it answers your question.
Okay. So Barbara said this, and I thought maybe we should show them the instruction. Barbara said, your instructions that come with the patterns are so easy to follow.
Oh,
so I just flipped to
good.
this page, just in case anyone is brand new and because we've had questions over the week. Do you guys have instructions that come with your patterns?
Yes.
What do they look like? Does it say that in the instructions? Yep. So this is just kind of a view of the instructions, because you're going to get the image of what your machine is going to stitch, as well as the text to describe what exactly you're doing in that step.
And what we like to do in the text part is we like to underline the things that you'll need for that step. So for instance, hoop battleizer, we've underlined battleizer. Hoop water soluble thread, we've underlined water soluble thread in the needle, and embroidery bobbin thread in the bobbin. So we underlined embroidery bobbin thread. So every step says exactly what you're going to need for that particular step. So hopefully we've made them clear. We've had a lot of compliments on our instructions, and we really try and make it as easy as possible. Mm-hmm. So that is that is the Star Point instructions. Ignore all my little notes and stuff like this. Another thing I like to do as I'm stitching out, especially when I'm doing the first few blocks, is like where it might say fabric 1, and I've done it right here. I've written the word white. So my fabric one is white. So I would write the color of my fabric or maybe the color, the thread that I chose. That way it speeds it along and I don't have to maybe flip to a different page that lists all the different fabrics. So that's just a little tip for you to fill in what color fabric and thread that you're using for your quilt.
Okay, Dee Dee just a couple minutes ago asked this question. Could you make the blocks, then do the embroidery quilting? So the quilting is going to be included in the design, Dee Dee.
Right.
So all of this quilting was done in the hoop
Mm-hmm.
at the machine step where you're creating your blocks. So you're
Yes.
doing the piecing. All the piecing is digitized in there for you, each of those steps. And then the quilting is also already digitized in here. Quilting comes with all of our patterns. We include the
Right.
quilting.
Right. So like yesterday, this is just a step out of one of the star point blocks. So as you progress and add your fabric, part of the design is the quilting. So you would just change your whatever thread you want to use and it does the quilting. And then here it is done tone on tone and then a contrasting for this section. So all the quilting you're seeing here is all part of that design.
And Annie on Monday stitched a block and then yesterday went through that step out really thoroughly too. So if you're still like, if your mind is blown now that we said that, or if you're still a little confused, go back and watch that because I think it'll answer that question really well for you. Okay. Amanda said, if I can, come on, computer. Okay. It doesn't want to play nice. Amanda said she increased the size and loves the serpentine stitch, like the length of her serpentine stitch. What color thread do you use?
For the serpentine stitch, we use a clear monopoly thread. It is Superior Threads. It's called mono.poly. Looks like Monopoly. But it's a clear monofilament thread. So that's why you really can't see it. And we do that because we're going to go through so many colors that we might as well have something that you can't see.
Do you put your monopoly thread in the needle and the bobbin or just the needle?
I put it in the needle and the bobbin.
Me too.
Yep.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think this little star section right here, just one of the star sections, would make a great pillow if you're making.
Said that and asked what size block it would. Did you do the 5-inch or the 8-inch?
This one,
the pillow thing.
That's the 8-inch.
This is the 8-inch. So even the 5-inch, this is basically the 5-inch, depending on what size throw pillow you want. You could do either one.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
both.
Can you make me 2 or 3 of these for my bed? It would look great there.
I'll just cut up the quilt behind me here.
Oh
you go.
gosh. Diana said, what do you mean by taping down? I think she means like taping down the edges of the backing.
So the backing, when I laid the backing down, what you can do to make sure it stays nice and taut while you're pinning is just take some masking tape and tape it to the floor or to your cutting table. And that will definitely hold your backing fabric in place. And then you can pin it. And after you have it all pinned, then you can remove the tape. And that just helps your backing fabric not have any ripples or anything like that in it.
Okay. And then Sharon said, what's the size of the finished block that you're showing with the pillow?
Yeah.
It's about 20 by 20.
I'm sorry.
I didn't know if we said that, but
I was just saying 8-inch blocks. Gotcha. Okay. Let me see here.
I think it's 20 by 20 because it's,
yep, you're right.
Okay. And then Patricia asked, can you put another layer of batting the size of the quilt? I think like when you're layering.
Oh, okay. You could, but it would be quite bulky and heavy, especially when you take it to the machine to do the serpentine stitches. And with the battleizer, can't talk. The battleizer, it's batting all on its own. So you really don't need to add an extra layer of batting. If you want to do that, Patricia, and try that, go right ahead. But we don't recommend it. And I really don't think it's necessary.
Okay, and then Dee Dee's asking, since the kits don't contain enough battleizer, could regular 100% cotton be used? So I assume we're kind of talking about the toolbox here maybe, because in the toolbox there's 5 yards of battleizer, and to do, you either need 9 yards or 15 yards, depending on, so do you want to answer this one?
I will. Dee Dee, our battleizer has, it's basically a batting and a stabilizer combination. If your regular cotton batting does not have any stabilization to it, and it's going to stretch in different directions, and it will cause the seams and the tack downs and things like that to not line up perfectly. And that's why we recommend the Battleizer, because it is the two products in one. And since you're making a quilt, but you're doing it in an embroidery machine, you do need to have that extra stabilization in there.
Can I say something?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. I'm going to mute myself.
There you go.
I would also say to your question, Dee Dee, you can order, we have the Battleizer in 5-yard packs, which is in the toolbox, but we also have sold separately 15-yard rolls of Battleizer. So, you don't have to get the toolbox. It is enough to get you started, or you could order an extra 5 yards of Battleizer either with your order or later. So, and also, if you get the 15 yards this week, that is 10% off. So if you're thinking toolbox, just know you could separately get the tools. You could get the larger Battleizer roll as well. Okay.
Everybody has such good questions.
You guys do have really good questions. Okay, Cheryl wants to know, do all machines have the wavy stitch like that?
Well, I would say I haven't checked all machines.
I think most do, though.
I would say that
yeah.
most of them probably have that, or maybe something similar. I will also say that some of them are a little tighter than others, and I like to have the one that's spread out. So instead of really tight curves, one that's a little more like a wave than something super tight. But I really think most machines have got a stitch like that. It might be in like the decorative stitch area or the quilting area, but I think most of them will have that.
And if yours doesn't, you can still use that straight stitch.
Right, absolutely.
Yep.
Check out this comment. You want to read that?
Loretta said, I always buy the 15 yards of Battleizer because once you use it, you will use it for all of your projects. We have heard that from a lot of people.
We have.
This week, we've heard it from a lot of people.
And the same thing about the trimmer, that they don't use it on just our designs, that they use it on a whole bunch of different projects and stuff they're working on.
Yeah. Okay. Ardith said, if you are doing a one-piece backing, it doesn't matter what's in the bobbin, does it?
Well, I would say it kind of does, Ardith. And the reason I say that is because if, like, I could have, and I have done this before, I could have put thread that matches my backing fabric in the bobbin and then a monopoly clear thread on top. But there has been times when maybe if my tension has not been exactly perfect, that I might see a little peak of this gold colored thread come through on the top. And that's why I switched to putting it in the bobbin as well. But you can try it matching your backing fabric if you want to. Just be aware that you could possibly at some point end up going, and messing with tension to try and fix those situations. Hi, Ardith. It's good to hear from you.
Yeah.
Okay. Mary said she really likes the idea of doing the one-piece backing in a larger section size, so you don't have as much sashing.
Yes.
She thinks it would take the bulk out of the quilt. I agree, Mary.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
I agree.
They say there's more than one way to skin a cat, and there's more than one way to back a quilt. So we'll see if we can come up with all of them. And Patricia asked, can you use fabric spray on the backing? Patricia, absolutely, you can use fabric spray on the backing. Just make sure you're using a spray that you know is not going to gum up your needle.
All right. Okay. And then Nancy said, I see there is a smoke monopoly thread. When would you use that?
I would use that if I had
Dark background whole cloth.
Right, a dark background whole cloth. Aubrey says from across the room. But if you had, and maybe even a little darker than this gray, but if you had something that was black or super dark charcoal gray, you maybe would want to try doing the black monopoly or smoke monopoly.
Okay. And now Darlis asks, how much do you increase the serpentine stitch?
My serpentine stitch on my machine, I usually leave it the same. When I was talking about the different curls and back and forth on the serpentine stitch, there's just some that are super tight and some that are more like a wave. And I just choose a stitch that's more like a wave. If you want to increase you can't really change how it stitches, and you can probably change the stitch length on some of them. I just leave my stitch length, the default length that is on the machine.
By the way, Darlis also says she only buys the 15 yards of battleizer, and that's all she uses.
Aww.
So thank you. Okay. And then about serpentine stitch being built into the machine, Barbara had this great feedback.
Oh, 3 different brands of machines, and they all have the serpentine stitch. That's good to know. I kind of thought they did, Barbara, but I hated to speak something that maybe I was not 100% sure about.
Okay, and then here's a couple compliments for you.
Amazing. Aw. She says, amazing instructions will be ready to go once more order comes in. So Donna, I hope it gets there fast.
Chris agrees. She says instructions are the best.
Thank you,
so thank you
Chris.
guys. Okay.
And when you do this quilt, it's like after you do 1 or 2 star sections or 1 or 2 of the center blocks, you're going to be like, I don't need these instructions. You do have to be careful of where you place your fabric. So you could just keep, for instance, the center block over by your machine and say, okay, this is next. And then the orange is next. And then the light tan. So yeah, you will all get in a groove and just start whipping these blocks out like crazy.
And Tanya on YouTube, I see your question about ordering, and you said you live in Northeast Missouri and you were having some troubles, had a question. Contact Nina with that and we'll get you taken care of, because you shouldn't be having any issues. So Miss Tanya on YouTube, go ahead and contact Nina with that question, please. We'll put her information up in one moment. Okay. Hold on one second.
We're reading through your comments. See,
let's pop
make sure we get them
here. If you want to read that one and answer.
Is that, Kate's Crafts. If I am making a table runner and having squares with machine embroidery and some just quilting, would you use battleizer in the runner? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. One of the good things about table runners and the battleizer is that it's not a super lofty quilt. So it's easy to hoop, and it also is great for table runners and stuff, especially if you're going to put some decor or a vase with water in it. It works perfectly.
All righty. I think we did it. I think we got all the questions. If you have any more, pop them in the chat and we will make sure that we get to those before we end. But for now, I'm going to give it back to Aubrey.
Okie dokie. So I'm just going to quickly do a nice recap. So today we covered the one-piece back. We're not done. We still have tomorrow yet to go. You're going to get a fantastic demo on a one-piece, or I'm sorry, backing while it's in the hoop and sashing. So be sure to stick around for that tomorrow. But quickly, I want to let you know, because we're running out of week. I don't know how it's Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. All of our promotions are going to end tomorrow at midnight. So I want to make sure that you guys know all about what's going on. So Sarah showed you the fabric kit. It's got 6.5 yards of fabric in it. So a whole lot of fabric. It's listed at $88 on the website, but let's be real. If you're going to get the fabric kit, you're probably getting the design too, right? Which automatically makes it 10% off of both of those products. So the fabric kit price when purchasing something else in that category is $79.20 for that 6.5 yards. It's enough to make the 8-inch blocks. But it does not include backing or sashing fabric. So just know that. We'll have Nina drop the order link as I go through here too. And this is probably what we had a question about the battleizer. I think you were referring to our toolbox. So this is not something we have on the website all the time, but when we're teaching more in depth over the week, we thought, you know what, this will be a great place for beginners to start the toolbox, because it does have enough battleizer for you to get started and try it out. It also includes our trimmer by George 3.0, which we demoed yesterday. It also includes our HoopSisters minis, which have a wonderful offset handle so you can trim away fabrics while everything is still in the hoop. and it includes 300 yards of the Vanish light thread. That's the water soluble thread that we recommend. So the toolbox will get you basically all of the tools to get started for $105. Now this week only, so expiring tomorrow, Friday, September 26th at midnight. If you order it today or tomorrow, it is going to be 10% off when you add something else from that same category. 2 or more from the new collections will get you the 10% off. Now, it's not enough to finish your quilt, the battleizer in here, but you could get an additional 5 yards separately, or you can just not get the toolbox and get the 15-yard roll of battleizer, which is also going to be 10% off when you buy 2 or more items this week. Okay. Last but not least, we have a video that our other co-founder, my mom's sister, Linda, made that we're going to play you tomorrow, where she shows you exactly how to use this bias tape maker. And we have limited stock. It's not something we normally sell, but we do have it this week on the website. So if you are kind of thinking you might want to do the sashing and you're looking for a tool to help you do that, this is just $8.50 and it's limited supply on our website. But you don't need it, but a cool tool to help you get that done is always a plus, right? And the price is amazing. Okay. So in general, it's always best to order if you're thinking about ordering when we have the workshop going on. We like to give specials and promotions during that time. So you will automatically get 10% off if you order 2 or more items from the order link that Nina is dropping. Okay. So in there is the Woven Star design, the battleizer, the trimmer, the fabric kit, other designs, and the toolbox. We also in that category have some things that we recommend but are not included. They will be excluded from the 10% off. That would be things like wool batting, the strip stick, the bias tape maker is not included, any threads, and it's just because they're not HoopSisters products. We just carry them because we love them. The other thing that's going to happen is if your cart hits $149, you're going to get free shipping as long as your order's shipping within the contiguous US. And I'm not done yet. So we got the 10%, we got the free shipping. We also have a bonus project that you will get absolutely free if you order this week. So today or tomorrow before midnight. In fact, you guys have this over there if you want to show it under the camera. Sorry. Okay. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to what you guys were saying, but there you go.
Okay, there it is. This is your little bonus project that you get. And this one is the little 5-inch block, and here's the 8-inch block. So it's just something you could switch the center up if you want to, which makes it kind of fun. It makes a cute little mug rug too. So that is our cute little bonus block.
All right. Why not? Why not get a bonus, right? Okay. You guys have been super patient. I did see a couple comments saying, what was the keyword? We said it in the beginning. I'm going to pop it up here so that if you did join us a little bit later, I just got a text that one of my kids missed the bus. So I'm like, what's going on? Okay. So, the keyword is the word one because we did a 1-piece backing. So we are going to do the live viewer giveaway right now. So it's your last shot at getting in on our $50 store credit giveaway. Oh, there goes a couple more people. Come on, there's more you here than that. Anybody else want to play? All right, here we go. Let's pick a winner for today. And this person is going to get $50 in HoopSisters store credit, which is always really fun. All right. Janet Ripple Starkey. I have been able to pronounce everyone's name this week, I feel like, which is unusual. I know, we still got one day left. Okay, well, congratulations, Janet. Thank you for watching over on Facebook. And what you are going to want to do is make sure that you email Nina and let her know that you were the day 4 winner of the $50 in store credit, and she will get that put in your account. Okay, I'm going to pop this up real quick. And then we're also going to be answering questions, but I wanted to pop this up so you guys could see what was going on tomorrow. I'll mute and you can take it over.
Okay, so I was laughing a little bit because Karen on YouTube asked if Annie and Aubrey were twins. I chuckled a little. She actually meant me and you.
Oh,
She corrected it. She said, I mean, she thought we were running back. It was one of us running back and forth, changing clothes.
hey,
Man, we would be talented.
you saw us in person.
Oh, stop. Okay.
I just lost my major compliment there.
You
though.
did.
It's okay.
We have gotten that at shows.
Yes.
In person, you and I, Mom.
At quilt
Are
shows,
you two sisters?
at quilt shows, people do ask if she's our sister. So, yeah. So I
The
believe it. I thought that
much
she thought
older
that.
sister.
Okay, Cheryl, you asked this at the very, very beginning, so I apologize. We are late to this one. Are the videos available afterwards and where? Yes, I see that you're watching on YouTube. You'll still be able to find these videos on YouTube as long as you need them.
Yeah.
They will stay there. You want to answer this one?
Yes. And Mary Rose asks, is the pattern for the table runner with the instructions? Basically, Mary Rose, what you will do is you will be making 3 star sections like you see across from here. And the instructions to do each of the blocks is the same. The only thing that you will need to do, Mary Rose, as far as figuring out your fabric is you're basically, if you're going to do 3 sections for a table runner, that's 1/3 of the quilt. So for instance, where it says fabric 1, you need 9 3x3 pieces. Just divide the 9 number by 3 and you will only need 3 3x3. So it might require a little bit of math on your part to figure out how much fabric to cut. But absolutely, other than that, all the instructions, everything is the same so you can make a table runner.
Cindy said, yes, a Frankenbat demo. Have lots of battleizer pieces.
Oh, yes.
Well, hang on to those, Cindy, because we don't have any right in front of us to do a demonstration today, but we did do a demonstration. Was that yesterday?
I think it was yesterday.
Just yesterday. And you can find other videos where we've done demos on making Frankenbat. So keep your scraps and definitely look for those over on YouTube and you'll be able to use them, rehoop and stitch another block.
Absolutely.
Okay. I do see this one. Go ahead and you want to do that one?
Amy asks, if you add Insulbright to make a hot pad with the 8-inch block, do you still need to use battleizer? I have not tried to do that. I would imagine on this you could probably get away with it. And I think I would just give it a try and report back to us and let us know. But I think you may be able to do that.
Yeah. All right. Here's the back. This is, okay, I bet this is here. Aubrey, do you want to talk about this or you want me to? I'm going to make them sick if I keep going through these slides, aren't I?
Go ahead.
Okay, so this is probably here because tomorrow we're going to show you guys how to get this look on your quilt. If that is something that you want, we'll show you how to do sashing. Earlier in the week, we showed you how to stitch the block with the backing and the hoop. And then we'll show you how to use sashing to finish it tomorrow.
Yes, we will.
So that's tomorrow. And again, if you guys have any questions that are specific to your order, anything that we didn't answer today, anything at all, please contact Miss Nina Gladden. She will help you out with anything you have. Almost anything, maybe. I'm not sure. But Nina's awesome. You can contact her at the information that you see on the screen if you have any questions before tomorrow. Otherwise, we'll see you guys for day 5.
Yes.
Tomorrow.
All right. See you tomorrow.
Have a good one.
Bye.